No, we're not playing. That was the wrong slider. There we go. All right. Yeah, it was somewhere over here, right? That's a thing. Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It is so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is July 3rd, 2025, and we're going to read a little bit of code today. How you doing there, chat room? We're already into a hype train. Look at this. Look at this. We're already into a hype train. There's folks here. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. It's so good to see you, friends. Let me say hello to folks there. Surly Dev, how you doing? Getting things started there. Doing well. It says Philadelphia Pride hat. This is actually a 76ers hat. I don't think it knows that. So, C Sharp Titan, good to see you. Hello, Weird Beard Dev. Happy Friday Eve. Yeah, it's the day before Independence Day here in here in the States. There's folks that have taken today off, taken a long weekend. My family, they're all working today, and we're taking off for the holiday weekend tonight. So that's going to be good. Ceramo89, hello. Napalm with a resub, 36 months. Thank you so much for the resub. How you doing there, Billy? Cool. Phil Vesey, how you doing? And yep, there's the hat command. There you go. Abuda Share, hello. Have I worked with Java before? Yep, I've worked with Java before. It's not my cup of tea. Honestly, the features and capabilities that C# has for what is a very syntactically similar language, I'll stick with the C# features and the capabilities that are there. Weird Beard Dev talked it over with the boss. Yeah. And I took yesterday and today off to make it a longer weekend. There you go. I took this whole week off, actually. I've taken it off from work, and I've been using it to get some side projects done, to get some stuff done around the house. It's been a good week of just unwinding and taking it easy, and enjoying the week away and less responsibility here. You had to resub as you don't know what happened. I thought I had to resubscribe. That's okay. I appreciate any support, any and all support that folks share with the channel, that folks have for me, for my projects that we've been working on here. Absolutely, very much appreciate that, and happy to support and answer questions and be a part of the community with you out there. I was working on, there were a couple more features that I wanted to put into Charlie, particularly the map. The map, I feel like the widget that I'd been building there has gone so far, and I think there's more that I can do with it, that I can grow with it, that I've been adding to this. Frank with the resub.
Fluchero's just resubscribed for 43 months.
43 months. Thank you so much, my friend. Bringing that Prime subscription. Already getting free shipping. You're getting all the free movies and music. Bringing that here. Thank you so much. Chris Engineer, hello. Welcome in. It's good to have you here. So first off, I've done, let me show you a couple of the things that I did here. Free ads. That's right. You get rid of the ads too. I've opened up and I've made the map the full size of the screen, so we can actually see all the things on the map at once. I also added clustering to this. So when there's multiple folks, we saw this on Tuesday. There were like 2 or 3 folks that were all in Melbourne, Australia, and we only saw one pin there. Well, now it'll actually show us a count of how many folks are in that location. And there was kind of this train wreck of a bunch of folks in the UK, all very close around London. And it will, when we're zoomed out like this, it will bring those together and show one pin with that count there. And the last feature that I added is a tour. So this will actually navigate around the map automatically and show different places where folks are. and it will just stop and navigate around and show here's some of the places that folks are navigating around the map automatically. And then it comes back at the end to full width of the map. Huh? How about that? So I thought that was fun and easy to add, and something that I could even have minimized and in the corner when I'm coding, and just kind of show, hey, here's some of the locations that folks are, and have that automatically update and reflect there. That's right, demonstrating the flatness of the globe. Now, why didn't it take care of you there, Phil? You like that idea? Thanks, Frank. Thank you. So it should have found Doncaster. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right. I don't know why it didn't look for it. I did pronounce it perfectly. All right. See, most of the pronunciations I have for towns in the UK, I learned from watching football. How's that? That work? I'm gonna get some music playing in the background here. Let's start with scroll down a bit. This is going to be from the EDM playlist, so it's something fun. Let's start here. This is called Meteor Attack. This is music that's DMCA free, royalty free. Check it out at streambeats.com. There's all kinds of genres available. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for this music we're listening to today. Now, why did it zoom in on there? What? So, Weird Beard Dev in Virginia Beach. There you go. Yep. So, and my proximity identifier for grouping together different locations will actually group Philadelphia and New York together. I didn't like that, but what can you do? There you go, Napalm. So, right, and if I let the tour run, right, it goes and finds, and I even have some debug code that it generates down here at the bottom. So the map component for some reason doesn't like panning within the same continent. It gets a little confused, and ends up zooming off somewhere else. So I purposefully have it go to different continents. So and make sure that it doesn't do two zoom ins on the same continent in a row. So that's why you saw it go North America, and then when it went over to Australia, and then over to Europe at the end there. There you go. How you doing there, Volleys? Is it Vala Stark? Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. And of course, I do have the Q&A, the question queue out there. So when folks ask questions, that is, you type a message that has a question mark at the end, it will go into my queue. Or if you use my screen name, it'll go into the question queue, and I can put it up as a lower third here, and we can talk about it. So there we go. And right, if we run the tour again, there's North America, and it'll probably pan down there to, yep, Australia next, and we should see Vala come in here. All right, so there's Europe. Give me the South American view. There we go. And it's just plotted. You said Brazil, so it just drops a pin in the middle of Brazil. And since we were in the middle of the tour, it waits and queues up, adding DGen1 now chiming in and specifying location, and it just puts a pin somewhere in the middle because it's somewhere close, somewhere nearby. So, and of course, Charlie works on YouTube and Twitch. Doesn't matter where you're watching, where you're listening. If you're watching, participating live, all of this will update automatically based on your input and questions you asked and what. You like that? Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. So, something that I started trying to add at the end of yesterday's stream, at the end of my day yesterday. When this ends, I think it might be cool to take a screenshot and share that over on Discord, so that we kind of have a record. Hey, look at how many folks were tuned in and watching, where folks were, and it kind of helps me when I look towards the future. Hey, you know what? We've got a lot of folks that are watching in the UK. Maybe I should go and put together a talk to go visit and do something in the UK, that kind of thing. So there you go, Sharer, punching in from Las Vegas. I see what you did there, Billy. There's your Antarctica hat down there at the bottom. Tobo Nautilus, hello. Right, and as more folks come online, we'll see the tour grow and automatically. Yep, there's our Antarctica. There you go. So, and nobody's names are with these, so. Yep, one location queued. See that? So after it's done the tour, it'll come back and add those locations. There's Northeast states. And then, yep, zooms back out and goes and adds in. Yep, they're in the Netherlands. There you go. So, really great stuff that I think was easy and fun to add here, and just continues to grow a little bit of that fun interactivity to show and share that, hey, we've got a fantastic group that's watching from all over the place. So thank you so much. All right. Can tell the West Coast is still waking up. Oh yeah. Well, so to that point, I don't usually have folks from the West Coast watching. Like the Pacific coast of the States, not that many folks watch. You're more in the south of Germany and not in Berlin. So here's the deal, right? When you just say I'm in Germany, or I'm in Brazil, or I'm in Finland, it just drops a pin somewhere in the middle. So if you want to be a little bit more accurate and say I'm in, and you don't even have to specify your exact town that you're in, right? It rounds off the coordinates and places, the pin. So, nope, not IP based. No. The map feature is strictly based on whatever you decide to share with us in chat. It's completely elective. There are no names on the map. It's just locations. Once you've submitted a location, you can't change it. So, C# Titan, yes. That's absolutely something that I want to do, is put the map into Tags app. Yes. It won't identify. So the map the map identifies a location, identifies that you're reporting in and saying I'm in a location by actually looking for that text. Good morning, I'm in. Greetings from, those types of text. That's what it looks for. Where is it? It's in my features up here. There you go. So if you don't type a message in one of those formats, it's not going to think that you're offering a location, and it won't go and present that. So there was a suggestion, and it's out there as a feature to add that let folks change their location once, and if they're a subscriber, they can change it 2 or 3 times or something like that. We'll definitely look at that. It's not something, I've got other features that I'm building and I wanted to get running first before that, and that tour is one of those features. I wanted to get into that. How you doing there, Slay 2035? Welcome in. Does it have in 2 locations? What do you mean in 2 locations? Help me out there. I have the map output in a couple of locations, but as folks get a little bit closer on these, it will start grouping them, but only when those are accumulated. Right, so it's a fun way to share and show that, hey, we do have a global audience, and I enjoy that. So yeah, all right. Continuing. So I've been working on this. There's our Antarctic friend down there, Billy. So I want to go back in and work on some of those security features that we've been rolling up for SharpSite, so that we can start to swap in different database providers. I don't have a ton of time here today to stream. I'm only going to stream for about another hour or so, because I've got a handful of things that I need to get done before we head out to for the holiday weekend. Yeah, Surly Dev is right. There is no geolocation information attached to YouTube chat or Twitch chat. It's strictly geo anonymous. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. So, the 4th of July is so soon. That's right. It's tomorrow. So, so I'll leave that up in the background, and of course I have my question queue in front of me. So if, like I said, if you ask a question and you end the sentence, end your chat message with a question mark, it gets added into my question queue, and then I can recognize and it won't go away from the question queue until I acknowledge it. So, and that's either by deleting it or putting it up as a lower third here. Okay. Let me head back over here. Let's go back over to SharpSite. So I have been posting new articles to Copilot that John. It's fun. It's interesting to add content over there. I worry that I'm going to run out of content. We'll see. Your wedding anniversary is tomorrow. Quite the opposite of. Yeah, it is a little bit of the opposite of Independence Day. Sure. But hey, look at it this way. There is fireworks and folks having picnics and barbecues and celebrating your anniversary in the United States. That's an amazing thing. Wow. So, all the best to you, and have a good one tomorrow, Patty boy. How many years is it for you? Mrs. C Sharp Fritz and I celebrated 25 years. Dear Lord, I'm old. Back in May, we celebrated 25 years. And we have a tradition in our family that that when a couple has been married for 25 years, the parents, grandparents buy them a silver platter, right? 25 is silver anniversary. That gives them a silver platter with that's engraved. 29. Whoa, boy. Okay, yeah, good for you. That is 29 is that is fantastic. I purposely wanted to get married in the year 2000 so that I could easily remember how many years I've been married. Just look at the calendar. 25. Got it. Thank you, Surly Dev. Hey, how you doing there, Jay? Good to see you. Right, we should have gotten... Yep, there it is. And actually, we're going to... Here, let me go back to the map, because we'll see our clustering starting to happen up here. As we zoom into the UK, right? We've got a couple folks that are near each other, so it's going to start to cluster them together with a number to show there's a couple folks close to each other in this area. So that's also why you got married on the 4th. Nice. So, all right. Moving on. So we were here in SharpSite and we were looking at all the things to refactor and abstract for how the website and web pages identify, authenticate, and maintain your session when you're logged in and navigating around, and trying to abstract that out so that all of the database provider specific features are separate. They're isolated. They're off on the side. Hey, McNets.
McNets just resubscribed for 22 months.
22.
Hi, I'm from Fritzland.
Now, that's not a place. I'm quickly going through my coffee, and that's not a good thing. Where was I? So, abstracting, wrapping these up, making it easier to pull out and use those features inside of the rest of the application. Of course, all the source code for SharpSite is available, and you can get to the source code at sharpsite.org. Philadelphia is a cheese here. Yeah. It's funny to us as native Philadelphians when folks refer to. Go ahead, take a look. When folks refer to cheesesteaks as a Philly, no, it's a cheesesteak. It's a cheesesteak. So, all right. So, and when out-of-towners come visit and they go to get a cheesesteak, please, if you come to Philadelphia, you might enjoy Swiss cheese. Don't get Swiss on your cheesesteak. Please don't. Because you're missing out on an amazing thing called Cooper Sharp. Cooper Sharp cheddar cheese on a cheesesteak is amazing. A little bit of fried onion with that. I mean, you might already order a steak from a steakhouse, a normal, like, T-bone, New York strip, sirloin with some fried onions next to it, and it's a magnificent dinner. When you have that all mixed together on a sandwich, oh, no, not Cooper Sharp, Cooper Sharp. It is like a sharp cheddar, yes. Let me get my Gunners on here. So these are the Pinnacle glasses I'm still wearing. Really enjoying these glasses. I'm making you hungry, Dunkerath? No. Tell me about it. It's like going to Italy and ordering Italian sausage. Nah, it's just sausage. That's right, Weird Beard Dev. Totally agree. Yes. Oh. Welcome to Food Chat. I'm your host, Jeff Fritz. And today we're talking about different sandwiches that are going to give you a coronary. Ugh. So, anyways, I had modified some of this configuration stuff so that it's already using the plugin manager, right? Typically in an ASP.NET website, you register services for service lookup, service injection in the program, so it all gets configured at startup time. In SharpSite, we configure it on the fly with our own service locator in Plugin Manager. Ads are starting right now on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, no ads. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you are on Twitch and you're still seeing me here, thanks so much for subscribing. So the plugin manager maintains its own service locator inside of it that we can change and reload and rebuild on the fly, right? We can, at runtime, change the behavior and configuration of the application by swapping out and changing out capabilities in our plugin manager class. The catch then is we have to inject the plugin manager when we want to inject services and do that second step of fetching those services from the plugin manager instead. There we go. There's the ads kicking and smirking. Squiggly, hello to you. Welcome. So I'll let the map accumulate some more locations there in the background, and we'll go over and do a tour of it as we get through a couple of tasks here working on the website. Hey, Code with Sean, hello. Is that like a live update, these plugins? Yes. The plugins will update live. Will update the behavior live when you install a new plugin. So, and I think there needs to be a difference between installing a plugin and activating a plugin. We started down that path at one point. It's something we're going to need to come back to here. Okay. Browsing through. Right, see, there's things like right here, identity user accessor, and it passes in my user manager because the SharpSite user manager wraps up all the capabilities to get a user. So I'll have a Postgres. There is a Postgres user manager that knows how to go and do all the things for that user. Eric with a question here. So how do you unload any object that's registered that may be in use? Well, if it's currently in use from the plugin manager, right, it's going to swap out the implementation, and you should get the new instance when it runs, when it delivers that. The plugin manager itself, I thought there was a lock when it reader-writer lock when it does the registration, right? When it works with this puppy. Rebuild the service provider. No, I don't have a reader-writer lock. We're going to need to address that at some point. That it should have a reader-writer lock so that when it fetches content from it, get the read lock so that you can work with it. So you can allocate many, many read locks from a reader-writer lock. When you allocate a writer lock, it blocks those read locks. And nobody else can get a read lock while you're going and writing to the resource. And when you release the write lock, then folks who were waiting to get a read lock are all allowed through to the resource. It is like DI for plugins in SharpSite. That's right. Yep. So, and we'll grow and make this more mature, and certainly we've got to add we've got to add multi-threading capabilities into it so that it grows and better supports the size and capabilities we want to deliver with SharpSite. This is a common question that we've gotten. Well, how do you secure plugins? Prevent it from doing nefarious things within your site or accessing things it shouldn't be able to, breaking the intended contract. This is a question that we've gotten a number of times. We think that there's you'll have the ability to build and deliver your own plugins and run them yourself. We also think that we'll have a plugin store, a plugin depot, where you'll be able to download validated plugins that do what they say they're supposed to do. There's always a possibility when you download and install a plugin, whether it's for WordPress or SharpSite, or some other application, there's always an opportunity for somebody to inject nefarious code. That's just the nature of, and that can happen on, and we've seen it happen on package management sites like NPM. It hasn't happened on NuGet yet, but NPM has absolutely been hit with those types of interactions. And managing and handling that is difficult to do. But we end up developing trust and validating different tools and things. Yes, and now prompt injection is happening. Not just SQL injection or CSS injection, but prompt injection is happening with AI tools, features, capabilities. And yeah, when you just put a big text box on your website and say, hey, go to town, ask whatever question you want, folks are violating and breaking that. Just like extensions with VS Code, that's right. Yep. So extensions for Visual Studio Code, for Visual Studio, for apps that you install on your phone, right? There's a chain of trust that you, as the device operator, as the application customer, that you are trusting that chain is valid. So prompt injection is the new SQL injection. Yeah, it is. It is. Because SQL injection will do nefarious things to your database. It'll delete your database. It'll drop your database. It will make your database run really, really hard, doing things that it shouldn't be. But prompt injection is going to cost you money, because it's going to burn tokens like there's no tomorrow. And then what? Then you've got a really big LLM bill to pay. So what I'm saying is that you need to inject Python into your SQL so you can prompt the AI to drop your tables for EF. Folks already have those capabilities with .NET code in SQL Server, and folks think that you can just inject C# code, and that's not the case. How you doing, Alu the Dragon? Good to see you. So the map is growing, filling out. Thank you so much. And I'll let it run the tour while we talk a little bit more here. As a software engineer that is now upset, provide an example of Bobby Tables flipping a table. Yeah. Little Bobby Tables. Badger asks, would running plugins within a WASM container help at all, or some security boundary where it only accesses what you give it? Granted, you'd want to trust the output. You're not going to be able to, like, you can isolate code pretty well, but at some point they can break out of whatever container it is that you're trying to keep them in and do more things. It's always possible to break out of some isolation container. Right? Like, sure, you can isolate things in a Docker container and doing all kinds of things to try and lock down and prevent folks from getting out and doing things. The only way you're going to be able to completely prevent them is lock down the network. And there's going to come a point where you're just going to have to say, I trust. We could certainly try to isolate things and run in their own memory space. And we'll just have to come back to that. What are the green icons? The green icons are Twitch moderators. Folks that are moderators out there. Sandbox escapes are interesting vulnerabilities. Yes, they are. Oh, yes, they are. So we'll let it go on the tour and show some of the locations that folks reported in from. on today's stream, and then I'll get back over to the code and we'll work more on the UI for our security features. So, a couple folks there in South America, thank you so much. Now, you said hello from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it didn't pick that up. It didn't plot that one. It is the middle of the night there. It is the middle of the night in Asia and Russia. Yes, you're approved for a loan phone calls. Oh my gosh, I've been getting so many of those. It has been a little bit crazy. It didn't try to find Tulsa. That's weird. It's very much a meme. Oh yes. So yeah, don't, and I'm not seeing a log where it says, "Oh, I went and found Tulsa." Like, got Las Vegas. I'm wondering if it thinks you already said hello from somewhere. Give me 1 second. Let me look at. Yeah, it did. I can clear that out. I can clear that out. 1 second here. Go ahead, Sean. Try it again. There you go. That's what we're looking for. Is it using the Twitch API? Nope. A little bit, but no. It's using the Twitch API to read chat and to identify if you're a subscriber or if you're a moderator. But otherwise, whatever location you share is what it'll plot. So, nothing too complicated there. The blue circles are aggregations because we've got a couple folks that are in Germany reporting in, a couple folks in the UK that are reporting in, that are near each other, so it's accumulating them with the new grouping feature that I added. So, and I added this ability for it to do a tour where it'll pan around the globe and show the different locations that folks, even Billy there in the middle of Antarctica. So, and I have it reporting, here's what I'm looking at. So one person in Melbourne, somebody just said hello. Yeah, Irvine. So after it's done the tour, it will plot those locations if somebody says, it adds in a location as we're in the middle of the tour here. So, and somebody said hello from not America. Right, I really need to make it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Jedi Mega Man. So there you go. Patty Boy with a question here. What's the criteria for determining if users are close to each other? It's 180 miles. So if you are within 180 miles of a central location, right? 180? It is on the map. Oh, I put it in the CS. So the C# for this was growing so big that I moved it out into its own file here. Where is it? There's a couple different ways that it groups. Generate clusters. Here we go. Cluster distance in kilometers. You make me sad. Oh, that's for the tour. Hang on. Where did it go? Arranging them from distance. Calculate the distance. There I have it. Identify continents. Pending locations. Dispose. Where the heck is it? The tour radius. That's when it's navigating around, but when it clusters things together, I don't know. Well, cluster distance for zoom, but that's not used. And it was, I was trying to do different levels of clustering. Set the appearance. Go back to that. Yep, there's the clusters. Points to display cluster. Yeah, generate clusters. And for tour is false. So yeah, so it's about 200 kilometers is what it'll try and group folks within. Is there a command to remove from the map? So the location command, I had started building. So there's the set. Moderators and broadcasters can remove. But being able to remove yourself, that's something that I can add in here. And there was also somebody was asking, is there a way to tell it to ask it what location do you have for me? So you're not a moderator or the broadcaster, so it won't. But if I do that, yeah, it's already saying no location found for you. And yeah. So, but I do see you in the list. Yeah, I do see you in the list. So I do have the ability. Yeah. Oh, you know what? The username has the service in it. The username isn't just. So if I do location, remove, Twitch. What? So on my test version here, oh, it's a hyphen. It's not an underscore. There you go. Yep. So that's removed. So now McNets, you can submit another location if you wanted. Yeah. Right. If I go back to the big map. Yeah, there we go. It's gone. All right. So let me head back over here. Have a good one, Sharer. Oh no, YAML. So, I'll work on getting that cleared out for the location remove feature. Like, go to my GitHub. Let's do that now. Like, let's log that. GitHub, me, and this is where it will be, the source code, when I release it. That's actually not bad. There it is down there. I'm from, you said, yeah, I'm from, it should have picked that up. Yeah, that should have picked up. Checking if location is already known. Oh, yeah, over there. So, I'll let that run while I add an issue for location remove command. Should locate should handle service prefix. There we go. Now I've got an issue so that I can go and handle that later. Fantastic. All right. Hey, Noterful. Hello, welcome. So, yeah, I think the tour feature is kind of nice. Going and locating and showing where some of our friends are located that have been so kind as to share. So, not bad. And I think I'm going to work on that grouping, clustering logic a little bit. Because when you zoom in, I'd like it to break out and make the cluster requirement that they're even closer. So when you zoom in, expand, blow up that grouping a little bit. So there you go. There's the map of where everybody is watching from that has shared their location today. Here we go. Let me just take a look at. We fixed that one. Did the sign-in manager get fixed? That's one of my abstractions, and it should, like, I shouldn't have to carry around that type here. Like, it's always going to be an SharpSite user. It's not going to be another type of user here. So I'm going to remove this. And yeah, there we go. Thank you, Copilot. So I don't need a generic type on that. That is a better representation when zooming in. Yeah, I thank you, Surly Dev. I appreciate the confirmation on my suspicion there. So my goal is to get Charlie handling more and more of the typical interactions that we have in chat, so that Charlie is running the entire stream before the workshop on the 18th. So it's a little bit of work for me to do before that day. I think the question features, sending the links over to Discord, I think that's a phenomenal feature. Being able to click into Discord, see the live Q&A from one stream, and click back and go back to something that I was talking about. I think that is really good. Let me know. All right, so I've fixed sign-in manager here, but it's used and referenced in a bunch of places here where I can now get rid of that. Yeah, that. Right, and cool. Where else? Yeah. That's sure. We'll fix that one while we're here. Same thing with iUser Manager. That's not a plugin type mapping. Yep. So we eliminated the generic, so that gets a little bit easier. Oh, and we eliminated the generic on that also. Thank you. So one of the things that we did was, yes, this is why they say rolling your own auth is a sin. Yes. And quite frankly, what I'm doing isn't so much rolling my own auth as I'm wrapping the identity authentication and allowing different implementations of it to be injected. But you are dead on, Nitro Piece. There are so many moving parts here that you don't want to mess up in any way. So continuing. Where else? What's next? Email sender. Yeah, go check email sender. Yeah, type of user. There's only one type of user we're going to have. So this is SharpSite user. Yeah, go ahead, do it for the other two. Thank you. You are so kind, Copilot. What? This can go away. Yeah, that's right, Space Shot. I'm extending the ASP.NET to deal with some of the pieces that we have here. You're saying this doesn't implement it? Oh, right, because I have that there. What don't you like? Oh, right, mine. Are you going to give me an option? Yeah, that one. That one. And that one. Ooh, wait a sec. I think this one I want to be... I think I want it that one. Fine. No. I want the other one. This one. All right. Because I have a... I think there's a dummy one here, but we would want to be able to drop in, like, send grid later. Still plugs into ASP.NET Core Identity. Yep. There is a lot in ASP.NET Core Identity. PG User Manager. What am I missing? Oh, right. Get rid of that. iUser Manager, create async. This is that same... Yep, we're going to alias it. That one. I thought we took care of this in here. Right, that's an identity result, and we've got to convert it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. No, this is... Okay, these ones, what do we have here? No, you still don't like that. What do we have? No! Really? I don't think that's it. No. I thought there was someplace else that I was working with identity result. Like maybe it's over... Oh, look. I thought I already did some of this. So this is inside of an abstractions. I don't want to put static methods inside there that refer to identity, because then I'm carrying identity everywhere. So, this is... No, this... Hang on, I've got the wrong type here. This one should be... Right. Microsoft ASP.NET Core identity result. Microsoft ASP.NET Core. Yeah, identity. No. Thank you. Right, so returning one of those. Right, I need to do this actually as... right? And no. Yes, like that. And now I've got identity error out here. And I want mine. Cool. Right, so I can do this. No, there we go. Give it to me again. Thank you. And again. All right. So Copilot's identified the pattern here. And it's just gonna... What? No, that's returning a string. What does that return? I thought I already fixed this. I thought I went through and did this last time. Right, that returns a string. So what doesn't it like? Oh, fine. Yep. There we go. There's another identity result. Come on. There we go. So generate new factor, and this is probably another. It's an IEnumerable string, and yeah, this could be nullable. So we'll handle the null there. Yep, go ahead, do that one. Identity result, go ahead, do it again. There we go. All right. So that's fixed. Where was the other one? It was like sign-in manager. Over here. Yeah. So I'm going to alias this to mine, but then this needs to do that conversion. There we go. And I need to change this once again to... So I should be able to just roll that out here. What does this one not like? Get external authentication schemes. Get external authentication schemes. This one. And that one. An explicit conversion exists? Well, then do it. We're going to come back to that one. Yeah, the sign-in result. Yeah, do that. Sign-in result. Yeah, do this one. Cool. Sign-in result. Yep. Thank you. So what are you grouchy about? Blazer, Mr. Magoo.
Blazer Mr. Magoo just resubscribed for 83 months.
83 months. Thank you so much. Yes. That is phenomenal. Closing in on 7 years. Wow. Thank you. No. Yes. Right? 7 years would be 84, right? Yeah. Phenomenal. Prime subs for nearly all of it. 8. That is fantastic. Digital Dummy with a question here. Hey, I hear you're hosting a .NET AI bootcamp. I am. So on the 18th, I need to put some imagery here on the Twitch channel. On the 18th, I will be hosting an AI bootcamp where I'm going to teach you how to bring AI capabilities into your application. Not just add a text box, but do some artificial intelligence things that are going to add value for your users, your customers, inside your applications. Things like automatically summarizing information, or doing product recommendations, doing a more advanced AI-based search through products and things that you might have in your application that you want folks to be able to search through. We're going to talk about and show you how to do all of that inside your .NET application with great examples coming up on the 18th. The following week, on the 25th, I'll be hosting another workshop talking about .NET Aspire. And we're going to get you comfortable and excited and interested in building with .NET Aspire. And we're going to take an existing application and slowly add .NET Aspire features to it so that it eventually grows and is orchestrated and managed with all the things that you know you need in your application, like better logging, using open telemetry, better metrics collection, automatically done for you with the clients and tools that you're already using. And of course, we're also going to show you then how to extend and add new features to your application using .NET Aspire. It's going to be phenomenal. All the workshops will be broadcast live on Twitch and YouTube. They're recorded and they will be available for you afterwards, so you can go back and review them. And just like this question here, all the questions that are asked during the session will be available with bookmarks directly to those questions and with titles of those questions in the Discord in our live Q&A forum. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you tune in and join me July 18th, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and July 25th, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll see you then. So, yeah. So they will be on Twitch, completely free to tune in and be a part of. So, hey Jefferson, you're in Brazil. Thank you so much for sharing. We got a couple folks that said they're in Brazil, so we got a big old 2 now on Brazil. Ads are going to start in a couple seconds there. Yeah. I'll let it do the tour here. So there are a couple of organizations that are sharing information and broadcasting about the workshops coming up. These are not Microsoft affiliated, but something that I present and run for a full day here on stream to share with you and hopefully share and inspire and get you excited about some of the new tools, features, and capabilities that are out there. So there we go. It's finishing up, bouncing around the tour, showing you some of the locations folks are watching from. There we go. All right. So I've been tweaking. I think we've got one more in here to fix. Get external login and the login info that it returns. Well, this returns an external login info. Well, it wants login info, but I don't think Can I do that? I don't think it knows how to do that. Yeah, it doesn't know how to do that. But I've got to have this implemented somewhere, right? Yeah, there we go. So I should, and it's just in that one place. Right, I should be able to say new login info. No. Now, why don't you like that? I was just looking at you. It's over here. Oh. We need to move you over then, friend. No. It's already there. SharpSite plugins, data, Postgres, security. Oh, crap. I've been updating... I did do this last time. I've been updating this one. That one's okay. But these things I want to get rid of. Yeah. That's okay also. That's the right one over here. Sign-in manager, user manager we took care of last time. Yeah. I was right. I took care of it last time. Because I'm going to get rid of that other package. So that's okay. We need to... We're going to need to take care of registering and moving that around. Why don't you like that one? Oh, fine. So where's it referencing and getting these? Yeah, plugins. Okay, that's right. So this registration here, I don't want to allow folks to register their own components with the service locator, because that kind of operates outside of the plugin manager, right? I don't want you to do that. I want these to be done by the plugin manager. Identify, you tell it, hey, I implement this interface, register me, and the plugin manager discovers and does that, so that I don't give you access to doing those things. Oh, Surly Dev, was it you who was saying? No, it was PowerShell Freak who was saying that they wanted to watch the video that I did with Code with Sean's user group. Yeah. User manager, sign-in manager, I think... I already put them into plugin manager. Yeah, right there. So is this... That's the wrong one. back up here. It's so tricky keeping these separate. Okay, that register plugin is good. That one's okay. So I don't think I need to do anything more with those. And that takes care of these two. Do I need this? Or does User Manager do that for me? No, this... Yeah, this needs... Do I really need two classes? Where's this one used? Like... Could I combine the two? For right now, let me... Here. Let me add a user repository. Why didn't you... Those are pretty cool. I don't think I need to register what the user type is. And I don't think I need to register those. But these two, I think, are definitely a thing. What, I told you to... Okay, good. And I want to make sure they're kind of in... I like to keep these in alphabetical order. At least before I do the release, keep these in alphabetical order. So now I can wire up user repository and email sender. That's inside of security. What? I don't have a user repository defined over here yet. Well, I better bring one. This one. Bring you up in here. No. Change namespace. See how it's using the scope? You've completely lost track. What have you lost track of? I'm going to come back to your question in just a second here, Mythin. Give me just a minute. I'm going to change this to plugin manager. Yeah. I don't need to create scope. I can just say plugin manager get service. Now, yeah, I know it's not null. User manager, I can just, and it should be user manager. There we go. What doesn't this like? Yes, it does. It does. Oh, I called it get plugin provided service. Womp womp. You be quiet. Get rid of this. I think that I want user repository. Oh no. Let me roll that back. It wants the EF context. It's just PG context. Wah. There you go. Update role for a user, and it's going to go get... That should be iUser. There you go. But I'm not doing that. Do one of these. Isn't there a different method? No. Don't tell me that's a null. Yeah, no, that's what I thought. There's like get user. Yeah, get user. With a claims principal. Womp womp. Gopher style URI parser? Let me come back to this. I want to answer this question from Mythin over here. Mythin asks, how come you don't program in Visual Studio anymore? I started coding with Visual Studio Code about 2 months ago, and I've really been enjoying it. The features, the capabilities have been really good. And I've enjoyed testing and rolling out and trying out some of the features that the Visual Studio Code team has been building and using here. I'll roll over and use Visual Studio on future streams, but for right now, I'm enjoying my time using Visual Studio Code. So I'm using Visual Studio Code with C# Dev Kit. So I've got all of those code completion capabilities built in and working great here in VS Code. Hey, Robson Previato. Hello. Good to see you there. Yeah, let me take a peek around here. Gonna have to fix that. I feel like that should be... Okay. This was trying to get a user manager that had access to users. And I'm trying to upgrade that and replace it so that it uses my plugged-in features instead of the ASP.NET versions. So my version of User Manager doesn't have a users collection on it. It does have get roles async. So I think I can do this with two different things here. Come here. Right? I can turn this back into get plugin provided service. And that will yeah, I'm being passed in the user. But I'm looking to make sure that they're an existing user. Right, this is kind of a safety thing. To do that null check. But like these two work. I think this I want to be on my context. Same thing with that. Yeah, that's fine. So then if I change this like that, really? You're going to give me one of those? But get roles for a user. That's what I wanted. Yeah, and the rest of it works. So, yeah, that's strictly a null double check, checking to make sure that we're handling the it didn't find things properly. But all of these services should be registered. And now this class is all set. And I can give it the... Oh, man. That's good. I actually think this should be scoped. So now it'll automatically register itself when the plugin is opened up and installed. Cool. Very cool. So the email sender. Where's my email sender that I put in here? And I have a feeling I want to pull that out, actually. Yeah, this was... So... I actually want... Right? I wanted to implement my email sender. So let's give this an alias. I think I need to put the same... Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I don't think this is... I don't think this is something that is specific to Postgres. And I think I could move this out. There's nothing Postgres to this. And I could move this over to the default website. And then I don't need to register this with the plugin manager. Maybe I do, because I'm going to let you swap in email senders at some point. Holy smokes. Is that right? I don't think I need it in abstractions. I can move this right into the website. But the format of these emails might change. Right, at some point, you may want to specify the format of the emails to be used. But yeah, let's move this. Yeah, I'm just going to put it right in here. And fix the namespace. We're going to change the name of this. And we're also going to change the file name. Am I using background services to send emails? Am I going to be using background services to send emails? Yes. And I'm not there. I don't have that implemented yet. But when we are, this will be part of those background services. Yeah. So if I go back up here, let me come back to you in just a second, Noterful. I email sender. And then. No, and then. Go ahead, take a look. See. Identity no op email sender. Didn't we move that somewhere? And all of these pages are injecting an email sender. I'm going to need to change that. And that's the old one in security. All right. Let me save what I've got at this point. That's fine that that's removed. Yeah, let me save what I've got. I need to wrap up stream anyway, because I do have a handful of things that I need to take care of today. But I want to make sure that I answer the question here from Noterful. Noterful has a question here. Look at this. I've started studying the backend from the Roadmap SH website and chose C# as a language. Fantastic. Welcome. Do I know of any other good resources for gaining hands-on experiences and solid theory? Learn.microsoft.com has a bunch of tutorials, a bunch of walkthroughs, a bunch of videos that myself and other folks on the team have built that will get you through and start showing you those tutorials, those examples. Solid theory, you're going to want to look for some courses on object-oriented programming. And that'll get you somewhere. When you start looking at advanced topics for C#, there aren't too many advanced courses out there. I've taught advanced courses, and different folks have different mindsets of what advanced is. Like, I don't think when you're in the learning process, I don't believe that we should be teaching you how to use extern and how to use the unprotected features of the language and the framework to break out of some of the standard things that you would be working with in the managed language. How to add references to external pre-compiled DLLs and libraries. I think those are for folks who are at another level that are doing a different type of optimization and work with the language. So I don't believe that those are features that the typical rank and file C# developer needs to work with. They're out there. I'd like you to be aware of them. But like span of T and memory of T are, and how you work with the memory of that are pretty advanced features that the average developer doesn't need to worry about. So they do significantly advanced and intriguing memory management that you, as a beginner, as somebody who's intermediate, as somebody who's advanced and working at an enterprise organization, you're working for the government, you're working for some company, and you're not selling the software that you're developing, you don't need access to do external and unsafe features or the advanced memory collection capabilities of span of T and memory of T. You're going to be able to optimize by taking advantage of value types first instead of reference types in all the places. Like, and even before you start converting to value types, there's other optimizations you can do in your code. I guarantee it. The folks who do need to know about extern, unsafe, these types of features and manipulating memory, those folks are building and selling components. They're building and selling services or compilers that they need to squeeze every last bit of performance out of. They're writing games at a very low level where the refresh time between each frame that's painted on screen is important. They're building real-time applications that where literally 10 milliseconds makes a difference. If you're just building a website that's presenting content on screen as folks navigate around and go shopping, you don't care about 10 milliseconds. You want to get your code running faster than 50 milliseconds, but you don't care about 10 milliseconds. You care about getting rid of that 150 milliseconds that you're burning, making a request over to the database and running a SQL query. You want to optimize out that first. And there's ways to do that that are external to the language that are going to help you before you get very concerned on some of those advanced features. But take a look at Learn. Take a look at the .NET channel on YouTube. The program managers are on there answering questions all the time about the various products. You'll find folks building and delivering training materials, the various updates and interactions from Microsoft Build, from Microsoft Ignite, from .NET Conf, where we announce and show some of the new features and capabilities. You'll find over on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/DOTNET. Thank you so much for the question. And happy to follow up and discuss further if there's specific topics that you're looking for help with that you want to dive into, we can get you pointed in the right direction there. The folks that generate these, a lot of the folks that generate these roadmap websites that say, oh, if you want to do this, you should do X, Y, and Z. A lot of folks that write those types of things, they're selling courses. Or they're promoting a product and they want to get you in and using that. Like GraphQL, look at this. Let me just come over here. So this is the roadmap for backend developer. Testing CI/CD, more about databases. So there's relational databases here to interact with. Interestingly, the most popular and biggest databases in the world are not the top two. The top two are MySQL and MariaDB. MySQL is owned by Oracle. MariaDB is an open source fork of MySQL. But, right, and these things, more about databases, this is relational theory that we're talking about here. I would put those before relational databases, and even put Postgres off to the side, completely separate from these five. Like, I don't think you understand how those fit together, and that learning Postgres does not set you up for an enterprise job. It doesn't. It's going to teach you some of the basics of database, but it's not going to set you up for a database job because it doesn't have stored procedures. It doesn't have triggers. It does have user-defined functions, but they're a little bit different. Like, you should learn one of these two, Microsoft SQL or Oracle. Notice they don't have DB2 on here. Somebody from IBM and Red Hat is going to be unhappy about that. But even before you get into these things, what they're talking about over here, ORMs, I would push to the bottom of this. Like, this is somebody who's trying to sell courses. And if you don't know what transactions are, N+1 is part of ORMs. ACID, transactions, normalization, profiling for performance is more of an advanced thing. Like, I would put those before learning about here's how to use these databases. Because when you start writing a select statement to work with Postgres or Microsoft SQL, these also have different database types that are available for declaring your tables, your columns, or your tuples if we're talking about Oracle. Like, I struggle with where some of these are placed, but when you scroll down here, look at this. Look. Scaling databases, database indexes, and they put CAP theorem in here. No, CAP theorem is not about scaling databases. CAP theorem is about architecture. It's a system architecture thing. Right? CAP theorem is very important to understand as an architect. I would not put it for a back-end developer anywhere near up here. And how does the internet work? What is HTTP? These are not things that as a back-end developer you actually care about. These are front-end things. What are the different colored checks? What do the different colored checks mean? You're not going to tell us what they mean. Personal recommendation, alternative options, order not strict, learn anytime. Yeah. Where did it go? Web servers, real-time data, and GraphQL. I wouldn't not tell somebody that you need to learn GraphQL at all. And GraphQL, to learn GraphQL, you need to know NoSQL databases. No. Not at all. these are used for a whole different bag of fish, not just GraphQL. You're going to use these for denormalization, for reporting, for presentation, for caching, for interactions where you want to speed up what's coming out of your data warehouse that you went and built with one of these Johns. And even then, you are not building a data warehouse with MySQL. You're building it with one of these two, or DB2. Additionally, okay, interesting, putting MongoDB and CouchDB under document databases. I guess. You don't have Prometheus in here with time series. Like, come on, man. Like, that's something that it's technically not wrong. However, I think the placement and arrangement of some of these things for somebody who's getting started is wackadoo. Yeah, it's iffy, to be sure. But software design and architecture, I would move a lot of these things up here down under software design and architecture. The Gang of Four design patterns? Oh man. It's good to learn those, but there are folks that learn the Gang of Four design patterns and they go nuts implementing them. In that this is the way. There is no other way. You aren't allowed to violate the adapter pattern. Wait a sec, this doesn't match one of the patterns. No. When you're a senior developer, you know what a lot of these things are. When you're an architect, not only do you know what these are, but you know when to violate them. You know when to step outside the box. Take those capabilities and wrap them with something else. Extend them. Do more with it. Or flat out break it off. Because there's ways to do these things that are faster, more optimized for your system. That being said, most application systems that are out there, you're not doing anything crazy, unique, different than other folks in other organizations. You've got slightly different business rules around the same create, read, update, delete operations that are behind every screen in your application. It's when folks need live interactions, time-critical things, where some of these things get thrown right out the window. And I'm talking about like stock trading systems, airline booking systems, arena ticket issuing and booking systems where you've got real-time competition in 10,000 people all trying to get front row seats to the Taylor Swift concert at the same time. How do you do the locking of that? How do you allocate those? How do you make sure that the folks who do finish their purchase first actually get the tickets that they submitted for? Those things you're going to want to know about in here. But N+1 problem is a problem with an ORM. That's right. I would hook these off. When you start learning ORMs, these are other things that are coming off of that you need to learn. So, but I could go through and critique these all day. Skill-based roadmaps, where do we have C#? Like, yeah, these people are trying to teach, and C# isn't even on their list of roadmaps. They put Rust up there. They put Flutter up there. C++, Python. C# is not in here. ASP.NET Core. AI red teaming. Wow. Wow. Interesting they put Rust and Go up here, but no C#. Like, really? Really? middlewares, you know, whatever. This is going to go away because you're going to prefer hybrid cache. Wow, putting Elasticsearch right up there on search engines, huh? I'm glad Playwright's up here. Good. RabbitMQ as a preferred message broker. Service bus. And service bus is the other one I would look at. And why are you separating out message bus and message brokers? Middlewares. Yeah. Yeah. You were recently offered a job in software architecture. You're a little behind on what I'd like to be. Do I have any tips on where you can specialize more in this area? You need to think more about systems and not just a specific application. How do you break out the entire system so that various pieces work together? What are the native applications? What are the mobile applications? How do they integrate and work with your APIs that you're going to expose from your enterprise application so that you can have those native applications work on tablets, work on cash register, work on different devices in the warehouse, and you still have capabilities for the folks who are working in accounting and finance to be able to use their browser to interact with those applications. So seeing all the sides of it is something. Have a good one, Patty boy. Yeah, we're going to wrap up here. And let me do that now. Because I do have a handful of things that I need to get to before I head out for the weekend as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. Always a pleasure writing code with you and chatting, discussing here, and talking about this. I'm not sure about AI, if the roadmaps are AI generated. I'm not sure about that. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Is it Skarzak? Thank you. And come on. I see another one here. There it is. Codebase Alpha with a resub. Thank you. Appreciate it so much. We'll be always with our tips, our cheers, our subscriptions. We reinvest those back into the stream here so that we can do more cool things with you out there. Let me see who else is streaming on the big Twitch TV network that I can get you connected to that's doing something phenomenal out on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, there's lots of great videos linked down here or over there, depending on which application you're using to watch YouTube. Philo Mion, hello. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me take a look here. I'm gonna just browse around. You know what? She tried to raid us the other day. I'm gonna raid her back. Our friend Lana Lux is streaming. She's working on games, and we're gonna get you connected with her for some more development fun, some game interaction, building games. She does some great work designing and building with Blender and other tools. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back next week. We'll do some more coding then. All the questions that you saw pop up on screen, they're available for you with my wrap-up, my comments over in the Discord. Have a fantastic rest of your day wherever you might be. I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.